Buckle up, get ready. We're about to get underway. Here we go. They lock one out the back to Widdop. Numbers here. Chance in the corner they're in. Now Gillett steps inside. Gale and he's over. Chance here. Billy Slater's over. They won't stop him from that close to the line. He fell awkwardly, Burgess. He's in trouble here. Did he lose it? The referee says it's a penalty. He doesn't miss many. Cameron Smith. Crossfield kick. Dugan's accepted it. And Josh Dugan is going to win the game for the Australians.
Night one of the Rugby League World Cup, and the Kangaroos fend off an old and dangerous rival. Today, another title contender lays down its cards.
Johnson shall score! Shaun Johnson has scored!
Defections and injury have New Zealand under fire. Now, a real test of character and body against a fired-up Samoa. In Papua New Guinea, it's not just the temperature at fever pitch. This Rugby League mad nation is counting down to its first ever World Cup match on home soil when the Kumuls take on Wales. And later in Townsville, the Hain Plains spearheads Fiji against the USA. 6 teams, 3 countries, one huge World Cup triple header. Coming your way live and free on 7mate.
Hi everyone, we're off and running, and what a start to the Rugby League World Cup. In a moment, we'll dissect last night's opener between Australia and England and look ahead to an incredible day of action featuring 3 back-to-back matches. Great to have your company, joining me throughout the day and night. It's going to be a very long afternoon and night, but I'll tell you what, we've got 3 cracking games coming your way. It's all worth it. Laurie Daly, they're back. Laurie Daly, Benji Marshall, and adding some class to the panel.
Come on.
Ease up, you two. Gillaroos International, Alana Ferguson. Welcome, Alana, to Rugby League World Cup on 7.
Thank you very much.
Great to have your company. Last night, the title holders off to a flying start. They've begun their title defence in impressive fashion.
Absolutely. It was a great clash. I think we only saw a glimpse of how competitive both sides are going to be. A few errors. I think that just comes down to new combinations, a little bit rusty, but I'm sure their timing will improve and we'll continue to see them rise. OK, we're going to look at some of the highlights very soon, in particular that great performance by Billy Slater, man of the match performance back in Test Match Rugby League for the first time in almost 3 years, and Billy was outstanding last night. Loz, looking forward to this afternoon and tonight. I mean, 3 cracking games. The Kumuls versus Wales. Rugby League is a religion in PNG, and the National Stadium very shortly will be absolutely rocking.
It's a unique and wonderful experience. When you arrive in PNG, all they want to do is touch you. They want to make sure that you're real. They line the street from the airport to the hotel just to get a glimpse of you, get a photo with you. If they get an autograph, they grow 10 foot tall. Then they follow you to the ground. There will be more people outside the stadium today than inside it. They know everything about every player. You even have children named after you, Jim. There you go.
Well, I see there's a few players named after Mal Meninga and after JT. So, yeah, I mean, it's...
There's no Dailies up there.
No Dailies. Sure? There might be a few Benjis, though. Welcome to you, Benj.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Kiwis against Samoa around about 6 o'clock Eastern. I'll tell you what, David Kidwell, their coach, has had so many issues and distractions to deal with, hasn't he, in the lead up to this World Cup. How do you see it unfolding against Samoa?
Yeah, a lot of issues, and the good part about it now is they get to play and put all those issues to bed. And for me, I think it's going to add a lot of inspiration for New Zealand and give them a lot more hunger and a bit more desire to do better. And a lot of people are writing them off and saying that it's a weakened team, and it probably might be, but it's going to increase their mana, they call it in New Zealand, their strength, and I think they'll be good.
Very good. Let's take a look at what's coming your way on day 2 of the Rugby League World Cup. First up, we head to Port Moresby, where Papua New Guinea take on Wales. Then New Zealand opened their account in a tough opening match against Samoa at Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland. And we finish with a Hain Plain, who's taking off for the first time at the Rugby League World Cup for 2017, and they take on the USA, quarter-finalists in the World Cup in 2013. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a huge afternoon. How about last night? Alana, you just mentioned the fact that Australia off to a good start in their title defence. England gallant, especially without Sam Burgess in that second 40 minutes.
Absolutely. They certainly applied the pressure to the Aussies, and I think it's great for the World Cup in this campaign because it's just going to increase that interest in these games. They played a great brand of footy. I thought that their defence especially really stood out. There are a couple of weaker spots, especially out wide, but yeah, they certainly stuck it to them and the Aussies had to work for it.
Loz, would Mal be happy?
I think he would be. He knows that they're going to get better as the series goes on, and I think he even said during the week it's been a light preparation. They were just trying to get mentally in tune with the game. It's been a long season for all these players, so he knows that they need to be fresh at the back end rather than in this first game. So there's a lot to like about the Aussies, but I was very impressed with the English as well, because I thought at half-time the scoreline could blow out, but it didn't. They hung tough, and Wayne Bennett would be excited about that.
There's big injury news for both camps. Let's get the latest from 7 News reporter Liam Cox. Liam, you were there last night. Great atmosphere. How about Billy's performance? Back at fullback for the first time in close to 3 years. Great to see him in full flight.
Oh, wasn't he sensational, Jim? Hello, everyone. Billy Slater was involved in absolutely everything last night. It was great to see him back in the green and gold jersey for the first time in 3 years. Physically and emotionally, the champion fullback, he's done it tough over the last few seasons, enduring back-to-back shoulder reconstructions. He's shown remarkable resilience to come back and play for Australia again. I caught up with Billy last night.
No, I wasn't emotional. I was looking forward to it. Like you said, I haven't played for 3 years, and you know, when you really enjoy playing for Australia and your country, you miss it. And I was looking forward to getting out there, and it's probably why I was in everything. I made a few mistakes and a little bit rusty there, but a few things to work on. But that's my game. I'm busy, and I want to be involved.
Now, there's concerning injury news out of both camps. Sam Burgess suffered a medial ligament knee injury. He faces 3 to 4 weeks on the sidelines. We may not see him back before the finals. Burgess suffered the injury just before half-time. He valiantly tried to play on, but he could barely walk on that knee. He was hobbling around in a knee brace after the game. Drama too for the Aussies. Jake Trbojevic was taken to hospital with a chest injury. Scans today revealed a torn pec. He is out for the rest of the World Cup and will spend the next 3 months on the sidelines. He's flying back to Sydney this afternoon and will undergo surgery on Wednesday.
It felt pretty weird, and it just, the way it happened, it just happened. Didn't think too much, but definitely didn't feel right. And I did the test and sort of had no strength there, so that's what I said.
Cooper Cronk was also in the wars last night. England put a big target on the Aussie halfback, and he ended up with another broken nose. That modelling career is on hold for now. He's been in the headlines all week with speculation rife. He's about to sign a $2 million deal with the Roosters. Mitchell Pearce, well, he is not happy about it. He is considering leaving Bondi. But Roosters captain Boyd Cordner, he wants Pearce to stay. He believes he can form a premiership-winning combination with Cronk.
Look, if a player like Cooper Cronk comes off onto the market, and the club has a chance to sign him and maybe get him for cheap, then you'd be silly not to grab a player like Cooper Cronk. I don't think if we can make it all work, I think that having out the 3 halves in there at the moment, if we can make it work and have them all in our team, I think it will be a pretty good force.
It'd be all right, wouldn't it? There was talk today that Cooper Cronk was going to come back to Sydney to sign that deal, but he's at the Cox Plate in Melbourne. He's enjoying the races with the rest of the Australian team. We're hearing he'll make that deal official with the Roosters on Tuesday, Jim. Good on you, Liam. Yeah, looking forward to Winks later this afternoon as well, of course, in the Cox Plates, chasing a third Cox Plate to join the great Kingston Town. So much great sport coming away on the screens of 7. Alana, it's a big blow, isn't it? Jake Trbojevic gone for the Kangaroos.
It is. I think his work rate's going to be missed. In saying that, our Aussie squad, we've got great depth. A player like Maguire, he could easily slip in and fill in his shoes. He plays a very similar game. So it's a loss, absolutely, but I think that we've got players there that can stand up and do the job. If you're out and about on this Saturday afternoon, Benji loves this. Don't forget to download the 7 Live app to make sure you don't miss any of the action. Every match streamed live. Next, we head to Papua New Guinea, where a massive crowd is building to cheer on the Kumuls against Wales. It is a religion, rugby league. It's the national sport, and we're not far away from kickoff. PNG versus Wales.
The Wall is coming to Australia.
It's the worldwide sensation that will keep you on the edge of your seat. From top to bottom. Get the answers right.
Where is the smallest bone in the human body?
The Wall adds life-changing money.
$12 million.
But get the answer wrong, the Wall takes it away.
What if there was just one thing standing between you and everything you ever dreamed of? What if that one thing was this wall?
The Wall starts Monday, 7:30.
With over 19 million Wi-Fi hotspots around the world and more than 900,000 Telstra Air hotspots across Australia, you can feel at home when you're far from home. Thrive on a new kind of network.
Volksfest 2017 is in full swing, now with even more great offers across a range of Volkswagen models, like the new Golf from only $23,990 drive away, plus a competitive finance offer across selected Golf models for a limited time.
Volkswagen.
What can make a delicious Big Mac even more enjoyable? Having it delivered direct to your table so you can sit and relax. Table delivery, now at Macca's.
Hi, I'm Andrew from Andrews Airport Parking. If you're flying on business or a holiday, leave your car with me at Andrews Airport Parking. Drop off your car and our free shuttle will have you at your terminal in no time. Andrews Airport Parking for good old-fashioned service.
It has to be the Grand Junction Hotel for your next meal or function.
The Grand Junction Hotel's spacious bistro has delicious meals to satisfy everyone.
Lunch or dinner 7 days a week. It has to be the Grand Junction Hotel. Something for everyone.
For a limited time, Husqvarna is trimming prices, not quality. You can buy a trimmer with pro-grade features now from just $189. Visit your authorised Husqvarna servicing dealer today. Husqvarna, ready when you are.
At BHP, we work hard to support our communities because it's their support that helps us deliver the benefits of Australia's natural resources to all Australians.
I know a lot of people are relying on us.
If the school wasn't here, none of the kids would be here.
Imagine what we could all achieve if we continue to work together and think big.
Welcome back, everyone. It's a huge day of sport across the channels of 7. Of course, the Mighty Mare Winx is the star on Cox Plate Day. Let's check in with Bruce McAvaney.
So here at Moonee Valley today, in many ways, it's Winx's date with destiny. She's already a great champion, but if successful in the WS Cox Plate, she joins Kingston Town as a 3-time winner. And at the same time, she goes past Maccabi Diva as having won the most stake money in Australia and equalling Black Caviar's 15 Group 1 wins. So we often say, who is the greatest horse of all time? Winx today can get very close to the absolute best, like Farlap, Tulloch, Kingston Town, the Diva and the Caviar. Boy, have we got something to look forward to.
Yeah, can't wait, Bruce. And we can't wait for this as well because we're not far away from the start of Papua New Guinea taking on Wales. We mentioned a sold-out crowd at the National Stadium in Port Moresby as we take a look at the lineups. Loz, beginning with the Kumuls.
Yeah, they'd be very nervous, the Kumuls, playing at home in a World Cup game, taking on the Welsh team. But look, the Kumuls have got a lot to play for. They realise that they play for their people, and the people have turned up today expecting them to win. Their lineup today is Mead at fullback, the wings are Gary Lowe and Justin Olam. In the centres, Ottio and McDonald. Now, McDonald is a strong runner of the football. Look for him to get heavily involved this afternoon. He is a leader. He plays for the Dragons and is someone that they look up to. Now, these two guys excite me, the Boas brothers. They played for the Hunters. They were part of that team that won the Queensland Cup this year. Very exciting, and both possess good kicking games. A back row of Martin, Paul Aiton, very experienced player who's played in the English, who's now playing in the English Super League, and Willie Mononga. And the front row, Stanton Albert, Puara and Lukey Page. Now, Luke Page has played for the Gold Coast. He's played for the Dragons, spent a bit of time with the Canberra Raiders, so he's one to look out for as well. Kurt Batiste is a Canberra Raiders player. Albert's another good forward. Seguiaro, well, we all know about James Seguiaro and his ability, and Mackie is the other player on the bench.
All right, to the Welsh, Benji.
Yeah, the Welsh team, there's a lot of unknowns for people in Australia, but we've got a couple of guys here on the wing. Regan Grace, he's the one to look out for. He's probably their try-scoring machine. We've got Elliot Keir and Reece Williams at the back. In the centres, we've got Michael Channing and Andrew Gay. Andrew Gay is one of those players, he typically plays a little bit like Justin Hodges, loves to get the left fend in and flick away at the right hand. And in the halves, they got Courtney Davies and Matty Seamark. Now, Matty Seamark plays in the Queensland Cup for Wynnum Sea Eagles, and he's been around. He's an experienced campaigner and someone to look forward to. In the back row, we've got Rodri Lloyd, Morgan Knowles and Chester Butler. Look, there may be a change, but we're not sure about that yet. And going into the front row, we got the pairing of Kopchak, the captain, who's playing he made his debut, 10 years ago today, which is a big effort. Steve Parrott, Hooker and Philip Joseph on the front row. On the bench, we've got Morris, Fozzard, Hopkins and Evans. A lot of players we're not sure about, who we don't know about, but I'm sure we're going to find out today who's going to surprise us.
Let's just touch on Alana. The PNG Hunters in the Queensland Cup was so impressive. They were coached by Michael Marum. I think they'll fancy their chances in their 3 pool matches, especially in those conditions. I mean, for the Welsh and the Irish, in high humidity, it's a long way from Cardiff and Dublin.
Absolutely. I think the conditions will definitely come into it. They also have a couple of NRL players, which we know in World Cup that's going to make a big difference. They're going to be used to this standard of game. I think Mead spoke a lot about the emotions around the game and really channeling that, especially playing a home game. So I think it'll be outstanding.
Yeah, I agree. There's no doubt in the passion for rugby league in Papua New Guinea. It's the #1 game in town, hands down. When the World Cup trophy toured the country recently, the fans just loved it. As Mal Meninga and Kumul's coach Michael Marum explained, this game means so much to the country and its people.
It's extraordinary up there, you know, how they sort of love the game and idolise the players, and you know, regardless of who you play for, they know you. Just, you know, the Rugby League Week used to be the second Bible up there, you know.
Rugby league is our #1 national sport up there, so you know, every kid. Now the ladies are playing now, so you know, everyone wants to be a Kumul one day.
And Jesse Joe has found space inside for Mead. It's batted on, it's off the leg. Play on, Papua New Guinea. Yeah!
They're riding high. You know, they're obviously their Hunters were very successful this year. Playing at home, you know, you'll have 15,000 maid-screaming fans, and they're a very physical footy team, and they're used to heat. You know, so they'll be hard to beat.
We want to finish in the quarters, go a bit further down semi-finals. You know, we believe we have a team there.
And they squeeze on his left-hand side. He's got hands, and they're in the corner.
Yeah, and I was really proud to host the 3 World Cup games up in PNG, Port Moresby especially. Yeah, no, it's big for the country.
Great pictures, the excitement builds, and this is a religion, everyone, in PNG. We're not far away from the kick-off, Papua New Guinea versus Wales, the Rugby League World Cup, live on the screens of 7. Welcome back, everyone, and you are looking at a sold-out national stadium in Port Moresby, and we're not far away from the kick-off between PNG and Wales. Now, the Welsh, interestingly, they haven't won a World Cup match since 2000, so John Keir, their coach, we're just desperate to actually win a match. It's been a long wait, 17 years in the making. Of course, they made the semi-finals at the World Cup in 1995 and 2000. It'll be a very stern challenge, though. Loz, in those conditions, as I mentioned, taking on the Kumuls.
Yeah, they need to be able to control the ball, and it's difficult in those conditions because it's nice and humid, and the Kumuls really put a lot of pressure on the ball when they go to make their tackles. They're really trying to force errors, and that'll be something that the Welsh haven't had to deal with over the past 5 years.
Let's hear from both coaches.
Michael Marum, around about now, you're starting to feel the pressure of 8 million lovers of rugby league and fans of the Kumuls this afternoon on your shoulders. How's things been in the PNG Kumuls camp?
Yeah, no, I think we've came into the, as soon as we came into the stadium, we sort of looked around and see the people there in traditional colours, and just something so special. We both are really looking forward to that game there. So yeah.
Okay, it must be tough for you. We don't know very much about the Wales team. How do you prepare to take on a side that you've very little about?
All we're concerned about is just on all our own preparations, focus on our own game, and then first 10-20 minutes we probably can see their game from there. So, but yeah, no, we've been focused on our game all throughout the past 2 weeks. Yeah.
This is probably the best prepared team we've ever had in the history of rugby league in Papua New Guinea. Can you see us breaking the hoodoo and going past the quarterfinals this year?
Definitely. I think we got a good team again this year. We built this team up over the past 2 years. So, getting to a World Cup played at home, that's so special. So, I'm sure everyone else will probably want to go through the pool stages and go through the quarters until semis here.
Thanks and all the best.
Thank you.
Michael Murram there, the Papua New Guinea coach. Exciting times for him. Let's go to the national anthems. What an occasion. PNG versus Wales.
More than what they have flown out of in the likes of Cardiff, just about 10 days away. Matty Elliott, can you see this Wales line-up? A lot of them playing their first World Cup match. A daunting mission for all of them.
Yeah, Chris, but they bring a lot of confidence. It was interesting being around the team in their training session yesterday. They've come out of the European Cup with a lot of success, and they've got some big bodies. Now, that's either going to be a blessing or a burden for them today, depending on how they respect possession.
Well, all ahead for them. Both of the sides now in readiness. Let's get down there now for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the national anthem of Wales and Papua New Guinea? Papua
Yes, wonderful stuff. David Duna Vanami with the PNG national anthem. And earlier we saw heard Scott Muller with his anthem as well. Wonderful stuff, and it's hard to describe the atmosphere inside this stadium. Matty Elliott and myself, we've both been to many, many games around the world, but this is very hard to describe. Wonderful, chilling atmosphere in a very hot conditions. Possibly, maybe some rain later on, but who knows what might happen here. Let's have a look again at the PNG team card for the home team there. And there is the lineup for you. David Mead at fullback is their captain. And we've got a bit of experience in there. Willie Mononga, he comes into the starting side. Of course, you'll recall he also scored that match-winning try for the Hunters in the Queensland Cup Premiership. He comes into the side, no Rod Griffin. They are coached by Michael Marum, and you see Baptiste and Seguiaro on the bench. Well, David Mead, Matty Elliott, a lot of pressure on this young kid's shoulders, and he had a pretty successful first season this year at Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, and he's just shy of 150 games, and believe it or not, David, David grew up just near here in Port Moresby until he was 12, and he's very passionate about leading his country's team and expecting a massive performance from him today.
Paul Ayton, you know a fair bit about him. In fact, he started his career, did he not? You were at Penrith Panthers many, many years ago.
Well, it wasn't that long ago, Chris. Come on, you're making me feel old. But Paul Ayton, an outstanding young player. He's playing at lock today, used to the hooking role, but he has played some time there, and after an illustrious career in the NRL and the Super League. All right, let's hear from Marcus Bai now, of course, a former PNG player and on the coaching team for PNG.
Yes, an absolute legend for Papua New Guinea, Marcus Bai, and Melbourne Storm icon. In all your years, did you ever expect a World Cup to be hosted here in Papua New Guinea and a home game?
Not at all. It's a dream come true for us all, and not only the players and the fans, but us coaches. You know, we're privileged to be representing our country, of course, and we're very excited. And hopefully the boys play well tonight and do what they're supposed to do as the game prep for all through this week. And hopefully the boys will get away with a win.
What's going through their minds right now, Marcus? You've been through this process, bit of nerves, ready for kickoff?
Well, of course.
Yes, there is Marcus Bai, wonderful winger for Melbourne Storm. Here's the lineup then for Wales, and Elliot Keir at fullback. Their flying winger, Regan Grace. Keep an eye on him from St Helens. Their captain from Salford up front, the prop forward, Craig Kopchak. And we've got Morgan Knowles also from St Helens wearing the 13. Coach is John Keir. On the bench for them, Morris, Fozzard, Hopkins and Evans. The referee is Mr. Ben Cummins. And we are almost in readiness to get things underway for Game 2 here at Port Moresby of the 2017 Rugby League World Cup. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about ready to get things underway. And New Guinea it is then to get things underway here at the Oil Search National Football Stadium. Phil Joseph it is for the Welsh team, and already you can hear the crowd baying for a penalty on just the opening tackle of the match. This is Craig Kopchak, the Wales captain, and he'll play the ball, taking his time to do so, driving it back through the middle, and I imagine these opening sets for both teams, very much a case of just settling the nerves. He's a good little run from the dummy half, Steve Parry, and he'll be brought down by a couple of Pummel's defenders there. In the main was Reece Martin. Keep an eye on him. Here's Phil Joseph with his second hit up in the opening set. And they'll take this kick, though. Not made much ground, have they, Wales? Just from outside their own 30. And a fair bit of pressure on the kicker as well. But easy take back there for the Wales fullback and captain David Mead. And, well, I don't know about you, but this crowd is almost deafening. This commentary position is driving it forward now is Gary Lowe. Our central commentary position perched right in the main grandstand, so we are literally in the thick of the action.
And in these early stages,
here they come
Chris,
now, Luke Page. Sorry, Matty. Luke Page takes the carry up. It's pretty deafening, isn't it?
Pretty hard to hear, but we're just seeing early domination here in contact in particular from the Kumuls.
So here they are. This is the last tackle then for the Kumuls. They come to the commentary side, and Arce Boas gets a dinking kick in. Well fielded, though, back there by Rhys Williams for Wales. And not a whole lot of pressure on him. He is their all-time leading try scorer for the Welsh outfit, Rhys Williams, rather. Good driving defence. Justin Olam driving him towards the touchline, and Nene McDonald pulls out of that tackle. Here's Williams again, and there's plenty of vigour, plenty of energy in this defence from the Kumuls, as Morgan Knowles takes a pretty casual hit up forward. Joseph dummies to his captain and takes the hit himself. Last tackle then for Wales. Again, they'll be kicking from inside their own 40. Courtney Davies with the kick. I thought it was going down the throat, but David Mead has to grab and have a second dig at it. And good solid defence too from Wales. Matty, the big question mark over this Welsh outfit, and we've already touched on it, these sweltering conditions. Will they burn out of petrol inside the first 20?
Well, it's very important then to dominate field possession, obviously look after the ball as well, and they've done a good job in these early stages.
So the Kumuls, they look shade forward, I thought, to the second rower, Rhys Martin. He's a good back rower with a bit of footwork. Good player, this fella too, Luke Page. He's the Burleigh Bears captain in the Queensland Cup. Last tackle then for the home side. It goes to Watson Boas. He puts the ball high. A lot of pressure on the young winger back there. He's done well, though, in the end, the St Helens flyer, Regan Grace. And he takes the pill in safely. Already you can see some of these big Welsh forwards walking. And we're only, well, what, 4 minutes into the match. They do have, I would suggest, Matty Elliott, a bit of a size advantage over the PNG side.
Well, I thought that at first, but I was talking about the Hunters, really, because the inclusion of the guys that have come from the NRL have certainly made them a far bigger unit.
This is Rodri Lloyd with the brightest coloured boots on the field. And this again will be the last. They'll kick from inside their own 30 again. A bit of pressure on Courtney Davies. And Gary Lowe, he gets the ball, and, well, he was winding up, but he lost his footing there at the 11th hour. But he certainly is one of the real crowd favourites, isn't he? Gary Lowe, who played with Sheffield Eagles this year, and I think he's off to Castleford Tigers next year. Still no score then, almost 5 minutes gone. There's Wales attack from just outside the 30. Here's Page again. Options either side. Watson Boas standing on the right. A little juggle. He pops the ball. David Mead sees the corner, and David Mead goes in to score the opening try. Yet to be given. They'll go to the video referee, but I think you'll find that David Mead, the captain, will have opened the scoring for the Kumuls.
I'm concerned about the dummy half when he goes to pick up the ball. Can you confirm that he takes that cleanly?
So Ben Cummins looking to see if there's a clean take.
We're looking at a possible breach of the dummy half.
I think we're looking at a suspected knock-on. I certainly didn't see anything in the commentary.
Okay, before that, mate. Before that.
It looked okay, the dummy half pick-up. A little juggle from Watson Boas. And then it just opened up the Red Sea. Well, Wales have just leaked that try, if it's given. And David Mead, the captain, how appropriate for him.
And as we see here, Arce Boas digs right into the line here and gets the outside of the Wales defence to sink in. And David Mead, you can't give him space like that. What a finish from him.
Well, worrying signs, isn't it, if the Welsh defence can open like that. We're just looking again at this pickup. That looked okay for me. That's what they're looking at. Boas drew two defenders and just sliced them open, David Mead. He's got a lovely turn of speed, the Brisbane outside back. And just waiting to confirm this. But this, I think, will be given. The video referee waiting for official confirmation. And it's only a matter of time before the green lights go in the semaphore board. Try is given. The try is given, and the Kumuls open the scoring after just 5 minutes play here at the National Football Stadium in Port Moresby. As it is, with the opportunity to add an extra 2 points. His captain, David Mead, a blistering turn of pace to go in to score after 5 minutes in the corner. And now Arsene Boas moves in from the sideline. He aims it out the front, hoping to curl it back, but not coming back enough, and the wind certainly not helping him there. But an early lead for the home team, 4-0, and David Mead, he looked pretty sharp there.
Yeah, he did, and if we look at the replay here, we've also got to acknowledge the great work that the Bulldogs back row, Reece Martin, does. He gets that player to bite on him, and again, as we said before, Mead in the clear, no stopping.
There's Andrew Gay, I think it was, that got himself a bit of no man's land there in defence. So they'll recollect themselves here, the Welsh outfit. Good take back there by Reece Martin. And this Welsh team really need to apply some pressure early on. Here's Page.
Bring it up, Luke. Right there. Right now. Wait.
He got through a ton of work about a fortnight ago in Suva. Aton. The quick play the ball he gets as well. That helps his dummy half there, Ortovo Puara. And you can see that PNG are making easier meters up the middle, aren't they? Here's another good dummy half run. While Wales, I think their opening 3 or 4 kicks have all been from inside their 40 or inside their 30 even. Here's PNG getting their kick away. Boas it was. And the ball's been allowed to bounce as well. In the end, it's been taken, though, by Elliot Keir. But Matty Elliott, it's a practice you don't want to make a habit of, letting the ball bounce.
Certainly not, and again, as you identified, Chris, it's about ruck speed, and the team dominating that at the moment is the Kumuls.
Well, Wales, safety first football for them, and they'll play it on their own 20, as you can see. Phil Joseph, he's been pretty busy, but good driving defence by the home side. And I'm told that Phil Joseph will actually retire from the game after this World Cup. Here's Kopchak, the captain. Aton puts pressure on the kicker from Marker. It's an average kick in the end. It sits up kindly for David Mead. And here comes Justin Olam. Oh, he's a big and fast, strong unit. He's another one of the crowd favourites here, I can tell you.
My goodness, what about that for a freight try?
Here's Gary Lowe. So Watson Boas, here's Page steaming onto it. A flat ball though at best. And another opportunity for the Kumuls. Puara gives it away to Watson Boas. Driving forward now is Minoga. A quick play the ball. They go for another dummy half run. Linking up with his outside men. Boas inside. And they're in again. David Mead. David Mead, the Kumuls captain. He goes in to score. Try number 2 after just 9 minutes of play here in Port Moresby. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Welsh Dragons, they are absolutely stunned.
And they're just rolling down the hill. Quick play the ball after quick play the ball, and a beautiful inside ball from the Kumuls skipper.
So here is Arsene Boas looking to add the extra 2 for David Mead's second try. And the Welsh team, they really have been stunned early on. It's a simple one. Oh, I say that. the poor fella, I say it's simple, and it's been waved away. Very gettable conversion attempt. David Mead, the try scorer, and the PNG captain has scored both of their tries, Matty Elliott. But David Mead, once he gets his hands on the ball from close range, it's almost shut the gate.
Yeah, but again, we've got to look at the amount of time the dummy half had to get forward there. He offloads to Arce Boas again, and he comes up with a try assist, a beautiful inside ball. David Mead, what a finisher.
So again, Wales will kick off. They're getting sick and tired of this, aren't they? Let's go down to the sideline, Steve. Dawanakura, Steve, it's looking like this Welsh outfit, they're really feeling the pinch in these hot conditions.
They certainly are this afternoon. Everything going according to plan for the Papua New Guinea Kumuls. They're completing their sets, and they've got the get-go from the first whistle. And this crowd, I tell you what, they're used to a culture of winning, and looks like they're going to be in for some more this afternoon.
Thanks, Steve. I hope you're acclimatised to the conditions as well. You should be, being a Port Moresby local. A cool as winter's day for you, I'm sure. Temperatures hovering though above 30 degrees Celsius. There's the Kumuls to get into opposition territory again. Watson Boas. Underneath that tackle there, I think is Stanton Albert. It is. Met by his opposite number. Albert's clutching at his head, so we'll need to keep an eye on that. They get their kick away though, and standing underneath that is Elliot Keir. A long, risky ball across to his winger, Rhys Williams, who gets the ball away, and Andrew Gay, no way could he improve the position.
What we've seen from here, Wales, is a very conservative start. They need at some stage to get a little bit more expansive in their play, because the one-out stuff is just not working.
David Mead with the opening two tries for PNG. If you have just tuned in, both conversions being missed, 8-0 then. And we've had about 12 and a half minutes of play. Wales really need to get themselves in the game. Here's a good run from their captain, Kopchak, and they get a well-appreciated penalty, I'm sure, inside the 10. And on the halfway line, this will give them a little breather, the Wales team, stepping up to find the line there, Matt Seymour.
Nothing like a play-for penalty. This is the first time we've looked to our left all afternoon, Chris. Can Wales come up with something constructive right now?
Good opportunity for them to at least settle the nerves and get back into the match. That ball, I thought, might have been a bit forward there from Courtney Davis, who's just coming back from a broken wrist as well, so we'll have to see how he pulls up. He hasn't played for quite some time. Here's Kopchak then. Quick hands. Trying again, fullback here. But he's thrown into the ground there by Nene McDonald. Flat ball away then, Gay gets it on now. And Rhys Williams, he can't find a way through. Very shallow in attack, Wales, so they, I would think, are about to put a short or a cross-field kick in, but they do have numbers on the right side. They go that way now. They do put the Grugger kick in. Oh, it's a terrible kick. It's been picked up by the Kumuls, though. And was it a knock-on by them?
Stolen
yes,
the ball.
It was. So, well, can they make something of this opportunity? Wales. Quick play the ball. They go for a quick dummy half run. Is Steve Parry.
2 down, 9 up, 9.
He can't find his way through. Seymour, long ball. Davis out the back. Now Keir gets the ball on. This is Channing. He's getting into his knees. Gets the ball back away to Keir. Keir looking for an opening, probing for something, but nothing is there for him. 10 out, then they are. Joseph out the back, quick hands, and ball's gone to ground. So again, the pressure is off the PNG side. Knock on both ways. It'll go against the Welsh team, first to knock it on, and the Kumuls will get to feed this scrum on their own 10-metre line.
You're probably not the most dynamic attacking set I've ever seen, Chris, but I've got to also salute the defensive effort of Nene McDonald over here in right centre. He has come up with some monstrous hits already.
Okay, Wales, I need you to hold the weight. Don't strike early. I need your body straight, okay? Body straight. Keep that tunnel clear. Okay, lock in. Okay, hold there, mate. Out!
8-0 then, and here's a good, strong run.
Movement!
Ohio with the ball.
Good work, mate. One.
Driving run now, Gary Lowe. He's broken through, Gary Lowe. He's got support, but pulled down there. Watson Boas. Desperate lunging defence had to be made there by Michael Channing, but they've held on just a little bit too long, I think. And PNG with a penalty just inside their own half. Gary Lowe, he's a very strongly built player. But here is another very good opportunity for the home team to really put some more pressure on Matty Elliott.
Well, what about both of these wingers, Olaf and Lowe? They're just absolutely dynamic when they carry the ball. And Wales looking very fragile right now, mate.
Well, steep mountain for them to climb, just coming here in this climate. 2 tries down already. Inside ball going away, Mead. They're going left. Aiton straightens up and he's in, is he? No, he's just short. Paul Aiton.
Play the ball. Oh! Go.
Stacking the short side. Run around Albert. They get the ball on now. Here's Nene McDonald. 4-on-4. He's got the arms free, Nene, but no support there. Last tackle then for the home team. Puara long ball. Boas, poor kick. Dreadful kick on that occasion. And easily taken there by Kopchak. And here's a good run by the fullback, Elliott Keir, just to get his teammates on the front foot.
They're just absolutely confined in their own territory here and cannot find a way out at the moment. Wales have got outside backs carrying the ball on their own and they're getting absolutely teed off on.
They will play it. That pass looked a little bit suspect as well. Good ball in the tackle, wasn't it, by the hooker, Mortobo Puara. Last tackle then for Wales, and they get the kick away. It bounces just inside the touchline. Takes a little leg break as well. And this will give both teams, I guess, a chance to suck in the big ones and just collect their thoughts. Neither side in a hurry to pack this scrum. There was talk earlier on of implementing or enforcing the heat rules. That won't be happening, but there was talk of that only minutes before kickoff, which would have required an extended half-time break and a short interval between each half. But a gentle breeze has blown through, and those measures won't be taken.
Okay, keep that tunnel clear.
So it's been a dream start for PNG. 2 tries for them through their captain, David Mead. This man's been busy, Justin Olam, with the Sunshine Coast this year. The Falcons, who lost to the Hunters in the Queensland Cup Premiership final. Watson Boas with a quick turn of speed. No way through for him. Here's Page again, and quickly out of the line. Ben Evans is out there for Wales. So they've introduced some fresh legs and full lungs. That'll be a penalty, I think, yes. A penalty against Wales. Having a second dig, and things are starting to get just a little bit heated out there.
David.
Wellington Albert, who is out there. Let's have a look at this. Did well. Wellington Albert out there with fresh legs, and coming again there was Matt Seamark. He had no right to do that.
So not needed.
Referee Ben Cummins, quick to make the decision.
Yeah, it was the right decision as well, and what this does is it gets PNG in a very good field position, and I'll be very surprised if we don't see that white stripe tainted this time.
So this is Martin.
Okay, nice stand.
Missed tackle there by Joseph. Here's Albert, straight and hard. First local player to sign with an NRL club with the Penrith Panthers a few years ago. Dangerous here. They've got numbers, have they? 3-on-2, but they elect to hold on to the ball. Very flat, this right side, commentary position. Here's Enoch Markey, one of the 7 PNG Hunters players in this lineup. They go to the short side. It's with David Mead again. Surely he's not going over for number 3, and no. They stop the short side. Bad pass from dummy half, but there's been interference there, I think you'll find, from the first marker. And another penalty. Another penalty to the Kumuls. And more pressure for Wales, who are buckled over and really gasping for air.
Not sure Cummins couldn't have just let that go a little bit longer there, because we saw a PNG player pick that ball up and get across the try line. But as we see again here, Wales under the pump on their own piece of chalk.
Look at these boys out there. They've got some size off the bench as well, haven't they? Enoch Markey is out there, and Wellington, Albert. Both of those two are lurking out in the three-quarter line at the moment. So that's where this money play will inevitably end up. Watson Boas, flat ball away. This is Markey.
Goodness.
Dummy half court with the ball. Overshooting the mark was Wellington Albert. I think they're still going to come the right side, western side of the ground. Aiton gets the ball away. Boas. And here's Nene McDonald. He's big and he's strong. He's almost there. He's almost there. He's more than that. He's in. Nene McDonald has gone in to score, but they will, I'm sure, have to check the grounding.
Okay. Jared, have tackle 4. Have no try. Just needed to check grounding, but is there a strip in there in the act of scoring as well too, please?
Okay,
2 players in there.
based on the grounding?
Yep.
Okay, video referee.
So the grounding,
they were going through
the grounding is what they really need to check. And Matty Elliott, you called that. You made the signal I could see out of the corner of my eye. I thought you were shaking your head saying, check the grounding, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, as he twists out of this tackle, what strength he shows here, McDonald. He's just too big to handle there, but you see, as he twists out of the tackle, I don't think the ball is reefed. I'm not really sure there. Now he loses control of it. Oh, maybe not enough to, I don't know if it comes free from his grip, so it'll be interesting to see whether they award this or not.
Well, does he re-ground it? Does he reclaim it? I think he may well do. I think he may get another grip on the ball. Nene McDonald.
Well, I'm not actually sure he actually loses grip. It just sort of rolls around in his hand there. That's where you feel it's come out. And I think that's grounded, Chris.
Well, the video referee, they're not sure either. So we've had about 6 looks at it now. Sure, if you ask Nene McDonald, he'll say he has re-gripped the ball in time to ground it. So the Kumuls looking to confirm their 3rd try of the match. 8-0 it is now. Make that 12-0 to PNG. So Nene McDonald goes in for the 3rd try for the PNG Kumuls. 12-0 they lead, with Reece Martin attempting to add the extra 2. Arce Boas has been punted from goal-kicking duties after missing his opening 2 attempts. And this fella, this back rower, Canterbury Bulldogs, New South Wales Cup player, Reece Martin, he can kick a ball. But Wales, they really are struggling to adapt to these conditions. Hot, steamy, sweat dripping off the players and the commentators. He strikes it sweetly. I told you he could kick. Reece Martin straight over the black dot. And PNG, they extend their lead 14 points to 0.
Boys, we look at the ball here again. Boas again, instrumental. What a lovely face ball he gets to Nene McDonald, but my goodness, there was no stopping that big unit, that's for sure.
Davies will be getting a little tiresome of these kick restarts. Here's another good, strong run. Wellington Albert. Still plenty of vigour, isn't there, in the Kummel's attack. Martin.
Marcus straight, holding for 3.
Up there is Matty Fozzard in the 14 for Wales. This is Markey.
Move together!
8 on bounces away from 1.
Here now, here. Go.
Seguiaro is out there, I see, as Boas puts the ball high. It's a bomb, leaving the ground. Oh, he does so well on that occasion, Elliot Keir.
He's been asked some big questions today, Chris, and he's certainly done his job. But again, look at this Welsh team. You can throw a blanket over them. They're not going too far at all this set unless they get some structure happening.
Very big day for James Seguiaro, who is out there, the Cronulla Sharks hooker. There he is in that tackle there. He becomes the first son of a Kummel. And Kummel number 282. His late father, Befiso, made his debut for the Kummels against the Kangaroos here in Port Moresby way back in 1982. And Gary Lowe brings it back. He makes half a break. He gets away from 2. He's in the clear and eventually brought down. Tackle had to be made by Morgan Knowles, and it was. This man, Olam, on the Melbourne Storm books, he's been damaging, hasn't he, in the opening half. So Albert, when he's allowed to, will play the ball. Seguiaro gives it to Markey. You get the feeling this Welsh line could be breached anytime soon. Here's Boas, and almost an obstruction there by his own man, Reece Martin. Last tackle it is. Seguiaro puts a kick in, bounces off a Wales player, and they come and cleaned it up and grounded it in goal. And the Kummels have forced themselves a goal line dropout. Only an average kick, I thought, from Seguiaro, but luckily he had support players there, and they have enforced themselves a repeat set.
Well, look at Low Hill. You interviewed Marcus Bye before the game, Steve. Well, he's certainly in that mould. Built low to the ground and very difficult to handle. What a dynamic player he is.
Certainly is. He's been absent from the national colours for a couple of years. Gary Lowe, and he's out here this afternoon to prove his worth in the red, black and gold jersey.
You'll have to be here and make the allegation. And yeah, Craig. Fish.
So Michael first.
Yeah.
So Ben Cummins just about to explain to all of us what's happening, what he's not happy with.
Over here. Matey, over here. Can't make it from back there. You've got to have to come here. No. Got a biting allegation, so I'll make it all formal. I'll get the ground managers to have a look. I'll have a look, and then we'll move on, okay? Just, hey? Just
a biting allegation.
Okay, so what, you make the allegation?
I've made the tackle, I've gone down, he's been on his back, the finger's fallen in his mouth, gone to pull out and he's bit it.
Okay, so
I think that's Ben Evans.
Turn that around.
That's probably the best side.
Okay, turn around, turn around.
He's showing the touch judge and referee Ben Cummins.
And when was that? In the first tackle, second tackle? Okay. Early in that set. I was just on report, and then we'll just play on from here because it's an allegation. But hey,
well, you don't see it very often. A biting allegation. It is Ben Evans from Wales.
We just move on here, David. We keep playing. That's on report.
And it's going on report.
So we just play here. It's on report.
He is alleging he's been
taken
bitten.
Care of. We keep playing the game.
Some stage.
We'll just see.
In the lead-up set.
Just wait there, mate.
And we will, I'm sure, hear and read more about that. And when we get more information on it, we will bring that to you.
Time to run.
David Mead is the captain, so whether he has to deal with it or, in fact, he's the accused, I don't know. But we will come back to that. So here they are, PNG then. Watson Boas gives the ball on to Wellington Albert.
Back foot here. Right forward, Marcus.
And Kurt Baptiste out there as well for the home team. Hooker to hooker. Seguiaro losing his footing.
Hold in between. Go.
Here's Baptiste to Boas. They've got numbers. He can't get the ball away. Seguiaro, first receiver, calling for the ball. Bad pass, dummy half. Short ball to Markey. And Ben Cummins says that ball has travelled forward. So when they had a chance to perhaps go in for try number 4,
hey, James,
they've let themselves down on that occasion.
Well, when assessing the Kumul's attacking units, you have to say their right side is far more potent than their left at the moment. They've been very clunky over there on their left side, something they definitely need to work on, and we'll discuss at half-time, I have no doubt.
Body straight, put it in. Out!
So a let off for Wales on that occasion. And this is Andrew Gay playing the ball for them. Actually from the central coast of New South Wales, 28-year-old Andrew Gay. 5 seasons he played with the Mackay Cutters, and he won a premiership with them in 2013. One of just a couple of Aussies in this Wales lineup. Matt Seamark the other. He plays for Wynnum Manly. Here's Kopchak, half a break, and a good tackle made by Baptiste. Only an average kick, wasn't it? Gained about 25 metres, and again takes a little break over the western touchline. And none of these big forwards in any hurry whatsoever to get to this scrum. Hands on hips are plenty. Here is Matt Seamark, the Australian 30-year-old. But these, we do touch on it, and I know I make no apology for that. These conditions, they really would sap the energy out here. We are luckily in the shade from our commentary position. But stepping out of 10 degrees in a place like Cardiff or Port Albert into this, it must be a really big shock to the system. They've got their fresh replacements out there, Wales. John Keir has introduced Sam Hopkins and Ben Evans into the fray. Here's another penalty to the home team. So making their job even more difficult with
wait there, make sure they're behind you.
A little indiscipline.
Well, again, what they sacrificed by giving that penalty away is field position. And as we get into these final 10 minutes, this is where fatigue really is going to take hold. The Kumals don't look that fresh either, but you certainly get on the front foot when you've got the field, and they're off and away in this set.
They're very deep out to the western side of the ground, and it's the way they're coming with this opening set. He's got his arm free there, but couldn't get the ball away in the end. Mononga. Cut out pass now to David Mead, looking for a hole. Now he's found the hole and he's through. Has he got support? No. Seguiaro asking for a quick play the ball. Out the back it goes. Watson Boas, flat pass away to Ottio. Around the corner ball. And Gary Lowe, I thought that may have even been a knock on. Yeah, it was.
First one backwards.
Gary Lowe thought he got away with that.
Well, the fluency they started this game with has just evaporated a little bit, and I think you've already touched on one of the major reasons there, Chris. But the Kumals, if they just focus on getting forward and re-establishing the ruck speed they were able to get continually, rather than shifting the ball, they'll certainly have a lot more success.
So here's that earlier biting incident, the right arm, keep an eye on that. Ben Evans, keep an eye on that right forearm. Wellington Albert is the player with the ball on the ground, and Ben Evans is the man to have allegedly have been bit, and they've made a good break off that scrum, Wales, from their winger Rhys Williams. But we will be hearing more, and as I said, that allegation is on report against Wellington Albert, an alleged bite on Wales forward Ben Evans. 14-0 they trail the Welsh. 2 tries to David Mead and 1 to Nene McDonald. As we are counting down to the half-time break. And I bet both of these sides are looking forward to replenishing their fluids. They get the kick away on the last tackle.
And certainly both halves finding the touch consistently for the Welsh team. The challenge they've got in the second half is what the feeling I'm getting here is they'll be into the breeze, so those kicks won't, they're being short enough as it is, but they won't be quite as long. But look at these, both teams taking every second they possibly can to recuperate. Walk into this scrum.
Yeah, I'm feeling a touch of that breeze myself. Right now, Steve, let's go down to Steve. Is it cooling down a bit there on the sideline?
Yes, it is, Chris. It certainly is cooling down here. The temperatures dropped about 2.5 degrees and the winds picked up about 6 or 7 knots. But I tell you what, these guys are doing it tough out there in the hot sun, and both teams suffering from a bit of fatigue as we get to the latter stages of this first half.
Thanks, Steve. So, in short, it's dropped from 34.5 to 32. Hasn't cooled down too much, I can tell you, up here in the commentary position. But there is a gentle breeze coming through as Olam looks to break. He gets the offload away. Seguiaro, bad pass, picked up by David Mead on the fly. He's got support and couldn't get to his back rower. And Mead will look to get a quick play the ball away. He does. Baptiste, he sends the ball on to Boas. He puts a well-weighted kick in. Flying forward. Oh, beautiful try. Beautiful try it is for the Cobbles. They go in to score. I think the man was Kato Otio. Yes, it was. This flying machine from the Canberra Raiders, who scored an absolute stack of tries for Mount Pritchard in the New South Wales Cup a couple of years ago. But the lead-up work all done by David Mead.
Well, Mead makes a break through the middle, but again here, it's the other Boas brother. Watson puts a beautiful kick on, and what a great finish from Otto. He's used to getting across that line.
So 4 tries they've scored, the home team. And Wales will be hoping to get to the break with no more points scored against them, that's for sure. Kato Otio, the try scorer for New Guinea, and the crowd, I can tell you, they are really getting into this match. The second of the 2017 Rugby League World Cup in Port Moresby. And the back rower, Reece Martin, looking to turn this scoreline into a 20-0 lead. Gentle breeze, but nothing to really put him off. That's the angle. It sounded good. It sounded beautiful. It's high and long, it's over. And the Kumuls extend their lead. We are only a few minutes out from half-time. 20 points to 0 they lead.
Well, look at that lovely kick there. No sooner, that's the reverse curse of a commentator, that one. No sooner did I bag that left side, is that Watson Boas puts on a beautiful kick for his centre, and they're across the stripe, and Kato Otio, he's not foreign territory for him. He scored a lot of tries in his short career.
He scored 29 tries, Matty, from 22 games in 2016 for Mounties.
Similar to your career, Chris.
I'll tell you what it was. It was 10 more than a player called Josh Addo-Carr. Now, hang on.
Wait there.
Ben Cummins has moved in, player injured in the background. A little bit of concern.
What's your number, mate?
For that Welsh forward.
So you'll play the ball when we restart, okay?
Let's have a look. Nothing really in that. It was
it's just, it's...
All right, mate.
the big shoulder of Enoch Markey that... Oh, yeah, OK, different angle tells a different story.
Head on the wrong side there, just basic tackle technique there. And, yes, the young Welsh player really knocked about there. It's Chester Butler. Chester Butler. Interesting story. It's a nice story too with Chester Butler. He's actually the grandson of former Welsh international, the late Colin Dixon, who he played in the Great Britain 1972 World Cup winning side. But Chester, they only found out about 2 or 3 weeks ago that he was actually eligible for the Welsh team. He let them know. They quickly found him a passage into the 24-man squad, and he was quickly elevated into the starting team today. But he's not well at the moment. He's off for a HIA, and I'll be very surprised if we see Chester again today. He's got the wobbly boot on, there's no doubt about that.
So 20-0. Is there any way back for Wales from this? Will need to be a very inspirational speech from Coach John Keir at half-time. The other question is, will there be any more points scored before we get to the Oranges? Nowhere to go for Arce Boas. Here's another penalty, and it's being carried on. Sam Hopkins. Kummel's player still down. You can understand things getting a little heated out there, frustration creeping in, but what they've got to understand,
you're treading a fine line. That's your position.
Wales, they're doing themselves their third man in. You saw that round the knees.
Reece Martin, yeah, just it's almost like
yeah, but the rule is.
Oh, that's it.
Rodri Lloyd.
That's it. That's where it is, okay. And I called help before he came in. It's not his knee, though. It's his goal. No, it's not a penalty. It'll be a penalty play.
What do we call it? Cannonball. It's not on. Yeah, I just it's illegal. And it's a penalty. Maybe it's not such an illegal move in the English Super League or English football. I don't know, but certainly is in NRL, albeit we are playing international rules, but no room in the game for that.
Wait for the tap. Wait for it.
To be fair, he was heading down, but again, what it does is it puts his team under immense pressure here, 40 metres out for their own try line.
Boas to Albert. Wellington. Younger brother Stanton in the 8th started the match. Here's Seguiaro. Boas wants it. Short ball away goes Ottio. And this time they've got him wrapped up over on that far side. Here's Gary Lowe coming centre field. He finds Wellington Albert. Albert pushes away for one. And Wellington Albert with the size 15 boots goes in to score for the Kummels. They're in again to score their 5th try of the match.
Jared, got tackle 4. Have a try, and you confirm the ground is okay here.
Wow, what about Lowe? He is such a dynamic player. You see a winger heading from dummy half across the field, and he picks up that big unit in the middle. What a great try. And look at this. He looks slightly pleased to me. What a great try. Wellington Albert, he's absolutely over the moon. He needs to be.
No problems with it. Referees yet to give the green light. Browning looks okay.
Decision, go to the board.
And Wellington Albert reaches out to score. 5 tries for the Kummels. Wales yet to cross the stripe. Well, we tempted fate, didn't we, saying would there be any more points scored before half-time? Wellington Albert goes over to score. The elder brother of Stanton, Wellington's from Mendy in the Southern Highlands. He joined Penrith Panthers in 2014. I recall there was a bit of a mix-up over his age back then and whether he was in fact eligible to play in the under-20s. As Reece Martin looks to add another 2. Good as gold. Flags are up. And 24-0. 24-0 becomes 26-0 off the boot there of Reece Martin.
Look at Mo there. That was a lovely time pass. And he had a little bit of work to do there, no doubt about it, Albert. But what a finish from a big man. And you know, we're just seeing some of the side effects of great completion rates from the Kumuls. Lots of break runs and very few missed tackles from him as well.
Won't be suggesting there'll be any more points scored. Here's Markey. Still plenty of energy in these big Kumuls forwards, but that's good defence by Wales. And that's poor football really from Markey, going so close to the touchline. Wales rushing to the scrum. They'd dearly love some points, wouldn't they, before half-time?
Get down. Stand, but don't leave the scrum. Don't leave the scrum. Time off.
This does provide them with a unique opportunity. They haven't had a lot of field position. And let's have a look at that tackle again there. Look, 3 guys working really hard together. So we can't doubt the Welsh commitment and enthusiasm. It's just execution at key times, particularly defensively, that's cost them this half.
A bit harsh on Markey there. It was just very good defence from the Welsh team. Here's the fullback then, Keir, but he's well wrapped up by Boas. They lost about 10 metres from that scrum. So Matty Fozzard at dummy half. Here's the 5'8" Courtney Davis. He's through, half a break, and it soon closes Davis. Player down in the background for Wales. They keep pressing on. Here's Ben Evans. And time runs out for Wales, at least in the first half. It's been all one-way traffic. 5 tries to 0. PNG Kumuls over the Welsh. They lead 26 points to 0 at half-time.
Well, how about this? Wellington Albert, the big reach. Unusual put down.
Yeah, very unusual, but what an impact he's made off the interchange bench. He runs hard, and the thing about the PNG players is they take a lot out of you when they carry the ball. So if you're defending, it takes you 3 or 4 men to put them down, and they're hard as a rock. You know, they're very difficult to contain. It's been an entertaining game of football, and the crowd up there in PNG are loving it.
Let's take a look at the Telstra highlights from the first half. 5 tries as if they've dominated, haven't they, the Kumuls?
Yeah, they've been physically stronger than the Wales team, and obviously they've dominated possession. But I like the way that the Kumuls have improved their football. They can play ad-lib, but they also play to some structure. And David Mead, what a player he's been in this first half. And the Boas brothers are just combining so well in the halves. They're getting the team around the paddock, and he's just got good speed. He's got a good fend, David Mead, and he always puts himself in the right position. But again, this is a little bit of off-the-cuff play. That's what they're good at, the PNG Hunters in the Queensland Cup, and they've brought that to the World Cup, the PNG team. And David Mead, like any good fullback, hangs around the edges. He'll hang around the middle of the field. And in defence, the Kumuls, they're just charging off their line. They're putting a lot of pressure on this Wales team. They're forcing errors, and Wales cannot afford to do that in this heat and humidity because the Kumuls are on fire, and if they give them any more possession, well, this could turn out to be disastrous for the Welsh team in the second half. But the skill levels have certainly come to the fore, the kick and chase, and don't they celebrate? And what about the crowd, the involvement of the crowd? Every time a player runs the ball, and in particular this man here, Gary Lowe, he's been a standout in the first 40 minutes with his carries at the back end of the field. And here he is putting himself in a position to set up Wellington Albert for a try. And 26 points to 0 at half-time. Remarkable scoreline. They've dominated with possession and their completion rates. Look at the line breaks, 8-1. And they're really terrorising this Welsh team.
The missed tackles.
Yeah. Again, in this humidity and the amount of possession that the PNG side have had, Wales look distressed at the moment. So half-time couldn't come quick enough. They get a chance to have a rest now. They've got to start well in this next 40 minutes. They need to be the first to score if they're going to make this a challenge.
Highest score for the Kumuls in World Cup history, and we're only at half-time. They've completely dominated, so it's been tough going for the Welsh. Your champion of play for that first half?
Oh, look, David Mead, outstanding performance. He's a guy that's played with a number of clubs. He's played with the Titans and, of course, the Brisbane Broncos this season. But as I said before, just puts himself into the game. He knows where the weaknesses are in the opposition and he really targets them. He's there on every set piece. He finds himself on the edges, but again, as the half started to drift on, he started to get involved in the middle of the park, and that's where the big Welsh forwards started to become tired, and Mead's footwork and speed was very useful.
So the Kumuls are leading the way, 26 points to 0. It is a big occasion in the national capital of Papua New Guinea. 5 tries to zip, and they are in control against the Welsh. The second half isn't far away. Love the Mayor. 22 wins in a row. A third Cox Plate, and joins the legendary Kingston Town as a 3-time winner of the Wait for Age showdown. I mean, even if you don't like racing, you love the Mayor.
Well, that was the first time she's been challenged. I didn't think it'd be that close. Great performance by Humidor, but Winks, what a champion. Third Cox Plate in a row. She is the greatest horse Australia has seen.
Bruce McAvaney said that earlier. So Laurie's gone along with Bruce. Benja, how good was that?
Oh, man, it looked scary. If you had your money on Winks there, you would have been a bit nervous in the closing stages, you know, as opposed to racing at Flemington with the long straight. Moonee Valley's a different kettle of fish, and what a performance.
Humidor challenged her, and we saw a couple of starts ago that she was challenged and was well back, but she just finds a way to win. That's what makes a champion, and that's 22 wins in a row for Winks. Our racing continues across on 7. We're going to go back to Port Moresby, to the National Stadium. The Kumuls are leading the Welsh 26 points to 0. Here's the second half as we go back to our commentators.
For eras to come.
Yes, and PNG, they failed to win a game. As we wait for the referee, he's perhaps Ben Cummins overindulging in the electrolytes or fluids at half-time.
What's your expertise, Chris? You want to go down there and have a crack at that, mate?
Now, leave me out of the refereeing caper. Thanks very much, Matty Elliott.
You're more of a touch judge type, aren't you?
I'll carry the flag. I often carry the flag at the Suns Junior Rugby League, but you can keep the whistle and put it in your hip pocket.
I'm more of a bunker man, I think.
So here we are then. Can Wales get themselves back into this match as Minoga brings it back for the Kumuls? 5 tries to 0 and down by 26 points. I guess the risky thing for Wales, Matty, is at what point do they get away from their game plan and start playing a bit more risky football? There's a decent run by the home side.
Well, they've come out with some intent. Ben Evans absolutely just folded someone there, but Seguiaro out of dummy half, and again down the field they march.
Well, they've got a lot of danger, haven't they, around the ruck? Here's one of them. Baptiste goes for a run down the short side. He caught a lazy marker, eventually wrapped up there by the Wales back rower Ben Morris. They get the kick in and just punching it easily over the touchline on the far side from this commentary position. And, well, they don't need to score any more points, do they? One of the Wales players down in the background. We keep our fingers crossed for him.
Oh, it's just an elbow. Friendly fire, that one. Ran into his own player as he swung around there. And again, I think it's Sam Hopkins that gets iced there, and he's not in a good way at all.
So they also had a player leave the field, didn't they? Chester Butler late in the first half with a head injury. And it looks like Sam Hopkins may well going to get some more attention from the doctors. They're taking every precaution they can.
You never like seeing a player have his head, held firm like that. So hopefully he's moving now, and saw some movement in hands and feet there. So that's always a sigh of relief. But they're calling for a HIA.
No, it was quite a serious knock he took in the first half, and what a baptism of fire that first 40 was for the Welsh team, and not an ideal way to start the second half. In their camp, the coach has also asked the team to front up better in defence in this final second 40, and of course control the speed of the ball. That's what he wants, John Kerr. In the PG camp, they're pretty happy with the 80% completion rate, but the coach is asking the guys to get forward and break the line together in numbers. So moving forward in numbers and keeping up with completed sets.
Thanks, Steve. Phil Joseph out there as that replacement for Ben Evans. See this set how the Welsh get out of their own danger zone. They certainly struggled in the first half to do that, to make any good inroads in their sets, getting out of trouble. His pop jack dummies inside, and he tackled Baptiste down low. Martin over the top. Pressing on down the short side is Audrey Lloyd. Good tackle, wasn't it? One net, A. McDonald didn't miss.
Tag's not me.
And here they are under pressure now. Under a lot of pressure, and the tackle forced there by Baptiste. And they've coughed the ball up. Courtney Davis it was, who's down on his haunches, injured in the background. So they're a man down Wales, and referee Ben Cummins decides to call a halt to play. Still getting treatment is Davies. This is Audrey Lloyd, a shot on him earlier.
Oh, Nene McDonald is giving out stickers left, right and centre today.
He's, well, shoulder charge, was it? We'll need to have a look at that again, I think, but here's the injury to... It was just a good, strong tackle over the top by Baptiste, and I don't think Davies saw him coming. In fact, I'm sure he didn't see him coming. The Welsh 5'8" still down now. As I said to you earlier in the commentary, he's just coming back from a broken wrist. This is his first game back from that broken wrist, which you can see trying to get some feeling into it. That arm looks to be limp, though.
Thought they might have another look at that McDonald hit, as we did, because it was a very good impersonation of a shoulder charge.
It certainly was. Not quite copybook, but close to it. 26-0 they lead then, the home team, and a very good chance here in the early stages of the second half to open up the gap again. Here's Wellington Albert with his arms free. Looking for a quick play the ball. Joseph wouldn't allow it. Seguiaro out the back. Boas gets the ball on. Martin's strong, and Reece Martin. He'll go in to score the Commons' sixth try of the afternoon. No need to go upstairs. Beautiful play by the PNG side. And this New South Wales Cup Canterbury Bulldogs back rower, Reece Martin, goes in to score.
Well, Seguiaro gets some players to bite on him, and again, the player that throws the final pass, Arce Boas, and as you say, Reece Martin, goal kicker extraordinaire, scores a great try.
Well, things not going according to plan for Wales. Very early in the second half, and the home team, Seguiaro, started things through the hands, Boas away, and Martin, he's a stocky back rower. Very good footwork, and he goes in to score what must be said a pretty soft try. Papua New Guinea scored only 22 points in the entire 2013 World Cup. And 45 minutes into this year's World Cup, they've already put 30 on the board. This conversion attempt to make it 32-0.
Yeah, we have to acknowledge the amount of experience, one, the Queensland Cup has brought to these guys, but also the amount of NRL experience in this team. It's certainly showing.
last thing the Welsh needed. If they were to get back into this contest. That's what Martin is looking at. Not overly difficult. I love the sound off the boot. And up go the flags. He's got a lovely technique, hasn't he, Rhys Martin? And he puts another 2 points on the board. And PNG lead Wales 32 points to 0. Is there any way back? They, stating the obvious, obviously they desperately need to be next to score, but
there's a short answer to that, Chris. It sounds something like no. I can't see them coming back, and I can only see PNG getting on the front foot.
I was hoping you might put your rose-coloured glasses on for your reply, but you haven't. Here's Lowe.
They're not that thick.
Well, the game's certainly riding high, isn't it, in this part of the world, and it's wonderful to see a sellout crowd for the opening match. Next games, next weekend against Ireland, and then USA. They've got numbers over there, and they've put the ball down. Nene it was. They had a 2-on-1, but he was unable to handle the USA their third pool game, so organisers certainly giving the Kumuls every advantage to get out of the pool group and into the quarterfinals. The winner of this Group C, which on this performance you would think will be PNG. They'll go on and play the loser, the runner-up in Australia's group.
Well, they're certainly building some expectations here with this performance, and the amount of support they're going to get is only going to build, I can imagine.
Body straight, 2 hands. Put in. Out!
Wales win the scrum. There's half a break from their back rower. You're saying Courtney Davies, he looks okay with that wrist. He's Kopchak, strong, hard, and halfway through. He's brought down by Mononga. Mononga gets a bit of deck time there as well, but gives away a penalty in doing so. He gets things going again. They'll play the ball right in front of the post. Fozzard from dummy half. He's over, but I don't think he's got it down. And Ben Cummins says he has been held up.
Number 14.
Well, it's the first time in this game we've seen some defensive vulnerability around that ruck area consistently from the Kumuls. See if we see a set play coming here from the Welsh.
Out the back it goes. Davies gets the ball on. And Elliot Keir, he tries to get the ball away, but here's a penalty. I was going to say good defence, but very quick off the line.
I think the half was hit late there.
Ben seems to be ruling some obstruction there, but as we see, I think it's the 5'8" again getting some treatment, is it?
There's Courtney Davis down. I think he got hit a little late after that pass, and that was what the penalty was for. I don't think it was high.
It's not required, mate, okay?
Just a touch late.
It's not required. I don't know if the timing's right there.
Not much of him, is there, Courtney Davis? Have a look at that. Baptiste, I think it was in the background, or was it Aton? Yeah, Baptiste. It was Baptiste with another unsighted. Perfectly legal, though, I thought it was. I thought it was a bit of a harsh penalty, but he's picked his man.
Yeah, it's a trait we're seeing in the NRL a little bit too often, halves getting hit late, and I think that Cummins has done the right thing there.
Evans it is. Matty Fozzard playing dummy half. Ball away, Phil Joseph. On it goes to Channing. Out the back they go again. This is, I think, Roger Lloyd, and good defence over there. Who's that? Nene it was. Ball and all tackle. Kopchak, centre of the ground. Right foot step Joseph. He almost pushes away Markey, but that's impossible to do. Plays the ball. I thought it was a slack play the ball myself. Kopchak. this is the last. The kick in, oh, it's gone straight into the breadbasket of Seguiaro. He does very well, James. He's got support as well. Guess who? It's David Mead again. And the Kummels are 10 metres now their own side of halfway. Really finding some holes now, aren't they, around these lazy markers from Wales. Good tackle there by Davis on Ottio. There we go. Most often he comes out the other side, not on this occasion. Wrapped up, Seguiaro. This the last then. Baptiste. And appealing for a penalty, stripped I think it was.
The word ouch springs to mind, Chris, there. Seguiaro, who came up with that beautiful recovery after they were under the pump on the try line, draws a penalty on last play. That is a tough one for the Welsh to endure.
Oh, if you're going to give one away, you do it on one or two. We'll tackle three. This will put them under enormous pressure.
Where are you going? Wait there, James.
PNG having a bit of a committee meeting. The crowd's still alive, though, aren't they? They're loving every minute of this. Here's Markey.
Okay, lead the ball.
It's a big lump, isn't he? You know? Albert looking for number 2. Gets the ball, Seguiaro, and Baptiste goes in, but I think he's dropped it over the line.
Scrum in the field of play.
Well, they're not showing any signs of putting the cue in the rack, are they, the home team?
Well, lovely offload from Albert. Seguiaro promotes the ball and Baptiste. Oh, a last-ditch effort there from the Welsh. Just shakes that ball free. Excellent work there by the young back rower. I think it was, I think it was Ben Morris there that caused that error.
There were some raised eyebrows that PNG would carry not 3, but I guess 4 hookers into the game. Portovo Pawara starting. Paul Aiton at lock, but he does play hooker in the Super League with Catalan. Then Kurt Baptiste and James Seguiaro on the bench. But, I mean, in hindsight, you look at Seguiaro and Baptiste out there together. It's a lethal combination, isn't it, around the ruck?
Well, it certainly does give you some potency around that area. Any ruck speed, oh my goodness.
Are having certainly an awful second half, and you've got to expect that this weather, Matty, is just really taking its toll now.
Yes, but individual skill execution is something that is imperative, particularly in these conditions. But we're in a World Cup, so it's a little disappointing.
Okay, James, let's go.
And the recipient there, Morgan Knowles, maybe could have done a better job, but the pass was horrible.
Okay, for James, here we go. 2 hands.
So, will they go in again? Seguiaro, Boas, Assay steps off the right. Good tackle, Fozzard. Here's Wellington Albert again. Wellington's going over. They're having all sorts of problems containing him. Andrew Lloyd combining. No way through. Seguiaro pops it up the back. Here goes David Mead from Boas. Out the back again, handing it through the lines. Arce. Here's Nene McDonald keeping the ball alive, but eventually taking the tackle of Lloyd. They go the short side. I thought that might have been forward, that pass from Assay Boas. I think they want to check this.
Are you happy or not?
Well, they can't check it forward. And Ben Cummins points to the spot. They are in again.
Well, let's have a look at this. Hooker goes right to the line. Hard to tell from that angle whether it was forward. But the accumulative effect.
Reece Martin in for number 2. He's had a good afternoon, hasn't he? Reece Martin. going in for his second of the day. And
I don't mind that pass there, Chris. I don't know how you see it on that replay, but that takes Reece Martin to Papua New Guinea's highest point-scoring player in history. Takes over Elias Peo, who scored 12 against Tonga, and now he's at 16. Will it soon be 18?
It's almost from the exact same mark that he converted his earlier try. A good right edge player. So he's got in front of him. He's missed one. He's missed one. So 36-0, the score remains. All one-way traffic here in Port Moresby. And the further this game goes, the emptier the fuel tank gets, the more points I expect we'll see in the favour of PNG.
Well, the phenomenon here, Chris, is the accumulative effect, and that's what happened in that set. We saw an error from Wales on play one. When you start to offload the ball and play second pace, it takes a lot out of the team.
A big run up off the back fence from Markey. Certainly not losing any energy in the crowd. Minoga. Stanton Albert gets the ball away, sent the arrows there in support. He had David Mead on his right shoulder, couldn't find him. He dummies and loses his footing. And goes back centre field. A very good run from the Sharkies hooker. Baptiste then. Watson Boas. Here's David Mead. He's looking for number 3. Ben Cummins just pulling play up. Let's have a listen.
Well, they just stopped the play there.
David on 4.
For Michael Channing there. He just got a whack in the face, but he's...
He was 80 metres away. I don't know that I've seen play stop like that before, Matty. He was nowhere near the play. The London Broncos centre, Michael Channing, but anyway, play goes on. Baptiste to Boas, Watson off to Arce. Now it's on to Martin. Here's Nene McDonald. Stands on his knees and I thought was going to offload. On the short side, Martin puts a kick in. The chase is there. They've got it again. Justin Olam goes in to score. And Ben Cummins says that's a green light, fellas. PNG showing no pity whatsoever.
Is there nothing that Reece Martin can't do? He can power over to score tries, kick goals, and that time puts a lovely little dink on for his winger. And Olam is absolutely elated.
Well, what an afternoon. With these mountains in the background we have here, some dark skies over them, but a very bright future in the World Cup, you would think, for this team. Lovely little short play by the back rower, Reece Martin, down the short side, and Olam scores. And he did a very similar thing a fortnight ago in Suva. An even skinnier blind. Matty decided to trick a lot of them and skirted down about 8 inches of corridor to go in to score. So he's quite happy to try something a little bit left field.
No, he's got history. Is that what you're telling us, Chris? Maybe the Welsh should have done their homework.
Yeah, well, it was hard to get vision of that match, I assure you. But we found it, and here he is from just a couple of metres in from the touchline. Listen for it. Sounded good, didn't it? Unfortunately, it doesn't add the 2 points. 40-0 the score remains, and still a long way to go in this match in Port Moresby.
What about the impact that Seguiaro's had off the bench? I think he's already made 3 clean breaks. Last time he beat about 14 players, bouncing off people all over the place. The Welsh have to focus their defensive play, particularly around that marker area.
Well, you do worry because, as I say, we've got more than 20 minutes remaining, and the tighter this Welsh team get, you can only envisage a stack more points coming. And as you can see, the energy still there for PNG as Albert plays the ball. I can tell you that Wales' biggest ever World Cup loss is by 40 points, exactly what we have now. It was against New Zealand back in the year 2000. Here's a good strong run, steaming onto it is Albert. Eventually they bring him down. Another penalty to the home team. Against Phil Joseph, doing all he could to just slow them down. Just
lovely offload from Seguiaro again, and what a handful this guy's proved to be today. Stanton Albert, absolutely phenomenal game from him, and the Welsh under the pump yet again.
44 missed tackles. That about sums it up, doesn't it? Just about a point for every missed tackle for the Welsh team. It's a 40-point margin. That was Wales' biggest ever loss, and as I say, it was against New Zealand in 2000. Here's Stanton Albert again. 58-18 they lost on that occasion. One-handed pick-up, Seguiaro. Watson Albert, short ball, a good tackle made. He's going again, and the referee Ben Cummins says go back and play it. The crowd don't like it. The kick by Seguiaro, and David Mead goes in for number 3. Everything going their way, and the Kummels making the most of every opportunity.
Well, the Kummel skipper becomes the first PNG player to score a hat-trick in World Cup. There he is, number 3. What a lovely kick from Seguiaro, that man again.
Captain, number 1, and his third try, David Mead. The score outcomes at 44 points to 0 with the kick down.
Well, there he is, David Mead, over for a hat-trick. 4 tries in his Rugby League World Cup career. He grew up in a village not far from here in Port Moresby. He moved to Australia when he was about 12 years of age. He played in the last 2 World Cups for PNG. So his first World Cup victory is about 19 minutes away. Maurice Martin, 18 from the touchline. Always takes his time. And again, it's going across the face of the uprights. So the Welsh will be happy about that. 44 blot.
And again, let's have a look here. Seguiaro gets out of there, goes to his left, little right foot kick that's not easy to execute. Have a look at this. Shapes the pass, gets a lovely kick in there. There's nothing else that's going to happen. Then Mead pushes his own player out of the way to make sure he gets a hat-trick. The PNG skipper over the moon, as are his teammates.
Well, they came here with best intentions, Wales, and I've got to say, yesterday we came and watched them train, and lovely group of fellas, and John Keir, the coach, gave us all the access they could. But it was an adventurous trip here and back to the hotel. Here's Mononga with the police escort, and just locals lining the streets like rock stars were in town. Check out all the news from the Rugby League World Cup right over the next 6 weeks. There it is for you, rlwc.com. You'll see all the fixtures, you'll see all the permutations, the pool groups and results. Latest breaking news as well on that official Rugby League World Cup website. There's Baptiste away to Seguiaro, hooker to hooker. Seguiaro goes again, short ball away to Mead, and good tackle around the ankles had to be made by the Welsh hooker who was out there, Steve Parry. One marker, Baptiste sees that, gives his ball to Martin under pressure, does remarkably well. He gives it on to Nene McDonald, puts a kick in, the weight looks good, flying for Atolan, but the ball beats him over the dead ball line. And the Welsh will bring it back for a 20-metre tap.
Yeah, I think the thing that Michael Maran will be happiest with is that his team, even though they're miles in front, haven't got loose in the way they played. They haven't fallen out of structure too much or gone for it with a ridiculous offload. So he'll be happy with that for sure.
They're enjoying it here. They really are. This is Gay. 44-0. With 16 and a half remaining. Joseph, who, as I say, gets the offload away, been a real journeyman. 10 clubs, I think, over the past 14 years for him, and he'll call it quits after this Rugby League World Cup. Can they get points on the board? That's their chief aim at the moment. The kick by Seamark, it's well taken back there. With, I think, the sun in his eyes, too, and this back three, Mead, Gary Lowe, so dangerous. Here's Gary Lowe now. He's making them look like speed humps, isn't he?
I'd be tempted not to kick the ball at those guys. It's just too frightening a prospect of them coming back. And what an amazing start to a set.
Well, it gives them such an advantage, doesn't it? Those back three that are just getting things on the front foot. It's so damaging Olam and Gary Lowe, and what Mead can do as well. Here's Mononga. Thought about trying an illegal pass from the ground. Decided against it. Last tackle. Boas gets a kick in. Well picked up. Keir goes back centre field and brought down. This is Gay. Quick play the ball. Keir sees that.
You certainly have to acknowledge Elliot Keir's contribution. He's had a couple of tough takes today, and under circumstances like that can be really difficult. He's aimed up 100%.
Absolutely. One of three, or maybe four London Broncos players in the Welsh outfit. Is Courtney Davies looking a bit lost. He gives it to his hooker, who also can't find the right path. The kick finds space in the back corner, but it dribbles over the dead ball line. So we'll come back for the Kummels to have a 20-metre restart.
Well, Chris, they're hard enough to hold in 6 tackles, so in a 7-tackle set, I'm assuming that's the case in the World Cup. These guys are going to be pretty difficult to contain.
Regan Grace, we saw in the background, just getting a bit of a treatment from the trainers. He's up on his feet and he's okay. He's had a fair game, hasn't he? Baptiste. Nene pushes away from one and eventually brought down by Fozzard. Another penalty. Another penalty to the home team. Just getting very messy in the ruck, and you wonder whether that's just fatigue, indiscipline, perhaps a combination of both.
Well, it's a last ditch, Chris. All they can really do is try and slow that ruck down, and they're giving away fundamental penalties there. Cummins having no real choice other than penalise the Welsh team there. And again, here we see them in their own territory with the Krummels pushing off the back fence.
They're big and they're strong and they're powerful, aren't they? These PNG footballers, and always ever so willing. Boas dummies inside. Here's a long ball away, and he couldn't handle that in the end. A tough one for Gary Lowe. But when you lead 44-0, nothing wrong with throwing a bit of caution to the air.
Well, exactly, and it was a great little bit of skill there, but it just couldn't quite get the distance on that pass, and Lowe got yorked there, straight under the bat there, and knocks the ball on. So it's the first real bit of loose play to the edge that we've seen, but it was certainly worth a crack, that's for sure. If he got the ball to Lowe there, even though he had 3 defenders coming across, I just have a feeling he might have been difficult to stop.
Before the ball's in, wait there, mate, wait there, lock in, 2 hands. Out!
First onto the scene, Gary Lowe, in PNG Hunters' first season in the Queensland Cup in 2014. And he moved over to join the Sheffield Eagles. Signed with the Super League Minor Premiers, casting for Tigers for next season. Here's Reece Williams, Wales' highest ever try scorer. Pozzard decides to go for a run, loses his footing. And I see that's just about back out there, but it's not. It's Kopchak. They could be pass almost for body doubles. Again, he's taken a bit of a hit, hasn't he, Davies? Getting that kick away, he's okay.
And his good friend.
It was Baptiste again, was it?
Baptiste puts a little dint in him.
Here's Gary Lowe winding up. Again, proving a handful. Eventually comes down, 20 out from the line. Welsh players are all in front of the referee, though. Regardless, they have been given another penalty, PNG.
To the side, to the side. You're to the side at marker.
Well, again, Cummins with... Have a look at this. Wow. Otio's just very hard to contain. A great support play there from Boas. And eventually, though, that's, again... Elliot Kerr really having no choice other than to get around there very quickly. Otherwise, he would have been having a little bit of a break behind the try line, I believe.
Ready? Go.
They take the tap. This is Page. Wally Bears skipper, Queensland Cup. Baptiste. Straight through the veteran. Paul Ayton goes in. 10 years after making his PNG debut, the veteran goes in to score. And the Krummels extend their lead now, 48 points to 0.
Well, we wondered what the 3 hookers were going to be like playing together. Here's your answer right there. Beautiful ball. Paul Ayton over the moon.
So it's been a long and very hot and sticky afternoon for Wales, but really a day of jubilation for this PNG side. And I tell you what, if you thought they were just in this World Cup to make up the numbers, you might want to think again. Yes, they are playing a team that were ranked, I think, 1,000 to 1 to win the tournament. Baptiste Ayton. And Ayton goes in to inflict more pain for the Welsh.
Well, as you said, a veteran player, he'll be over the moon with that. Can Reece Martin get this one, mate, from right in front? You've put the mock on him on his last 3 kicks.
Well, how about this? Even money, 10 to 1 on, he makes it 50-0. You taking it?
0.
Still takes his time, doesn't he? Right in front of the posts. mistake. And the half-century is on the board for the PNG Kumuls in Game 2 of the 2017 Rugby League World Cup here in Port Moresby. It has been all one-way traffic. And there's no suggestion that the Dragons might even register a point in this game. Let's not lose hope. They've still got 8 minutes to do that. But you can bet your bottom dollar that the Kumuls will defend for their lives for the full 80.
Well, they've not been under a lot of pressure defensively, but at the times they have been, they've responded. Paul Leighton will be absolutely over the moon with that. Spoken before the game, and it really meant a lot to him as he rips back into the line here.
The 5 tries they scored, the home side in the first half, and 5 tries in the second. Page. Quick play the ball. Good run by Barnes, but forced the ball, going backwards. Baptiste wants to play on. It's exciting football, and I guess you can do that when you've got 50 points on the board. But they've enjoyed it, haven't they? 14,800. Well done to Port Moresby. Well done to the organisers, and let's hope we can get similar, if not another sellout, for games 2 and 3. We're back here, and next weekend we have Ireland taking on the Kumuls, and the third pool game will be against the USA. Will they win all 3 and go through the quarterfinals undefeated? You would expect so. Certainly on this performance.
Stay with the ball.
Can they get any points on the board, the Welsh? There's Fozzard. Davies gives it on to his fullback here. Goes back searching for something in the middle of the ground. Gets a ball away as well. And Seamark will take the tackle. Here's Knowles. Out the back, Davis. On it goes Keir. Net ball time pass to Chapman, can't handle. It's been picked up by the Kumuls, and they too make a mistake. Big Enoch Markey picked it up. All 115 kilos of him. He was 70 metres out from the goal line at the other end, and there was no way, Matty Elliott, he was thinking of running the distance.
No, he was looking for his winger. I think it was Lowe there that loomed up in support. He was trying to find him, and he's probably not great at running 80 metres, nor is he great at offloading the ball like that. So he only needed to sit that pass up perfectly, and we would have been at 56. I have no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. I would have liked to back him. I wanted to see him at least try, but he pulled up, said no. I'll try and push a miracle ball.
Okay.
So the Welsh feed the scrum. 5 or 4.5 out from full time. Channing to play it. Short side play, that's Rodri Lloyd. Knowles. At the back, Davies. Again to his fullback here. Now to Channing. Gets away from one. And Markey's there to envelop the youngster and bring him to the turf. Pass to Evans, who alleged earlier in the match that he'd been bitten. Halfback gets a kick in, Seamark, and I think that might have gone close to knock on, but no hands were in there in the end.
I thought there was a knock as well, but he's saying off the foot there. Very clear signal from Cummins. And just a little update there, Chris. We've got all 4 hookers on the field at the moment together with Seguiaro playing on that right side half position for Arce Boas.
Well, that's got to be some sort of World Cup record. I'm not even going to ask our statisticians to look into that. I'm going to lay it on the table. That's the first time we've had 4 recognised hookers on the field at the same time in the same team.
probably no excuse for poor dummy half passes, eh?
3 minutes out from full time, and you get the feeling they're not done with yet. They get the ball away. This is Ottio. Ottio fends away, gives the ball to Lowe. Lowe goes back 10 metres, back centre ground. He's looking for an opening. He finds half an opening. Watson Boas is there in support. Boas won't have the legs, and they're coming from everywhere. Still going Boas, runs around his own player, and they give away a penalty. Not happy, Watson.
Yeah, Watson's not the only one in the stadium not happy, but again, Ben Cummins there in great position. What a great bit of play from the Kumuls there to get the ball in the clear, but unfortunately, as you see here really clearly, Boas runs around his massive winger. That's an accomplishment in itself. Going to have to be a little bit more effective than that in their go forward, that's for sure, because they're not running with any intent now. I get it, I understand that they're under fatigue, but they are representing their nation.
Cheerio too to Bill Ray, who no doubt will be watching this coverage. Happy birthday, Bill, turning 76 today. His daughter Angela, great work on our production team. Bill, happy birthday to you. And I imagine if Wales can score a try, they'll be treating that very much like a birthday celebration, but you get the feeling that this defence from the Kumuls will not break. With just over an hour, 1 minute remaining. And here's a penalty to them. Will they take the two? I think they must, surely. Matty Elliott, what do you tell your captain?
You tell them to go for it here. That's a little bit of good play from Ben Evans there. He drew that penalty right at the back end of the set there. So can the Kumuls at the very death of this game hold the opposition out for 2 sets in a row?
Back row, they're losing his footing. Parry gets the ball on to Seamark, who finds Rodri Lloyd. Looking a little bit unorganised, aren't they? Where they have been all matches. Davis, long ball, Channing, it's 2-on-2. You'll need to beat your man, son, you can't. It's a quick play the ball in, though. Here's Keir. Nothing doing. At the back it goes. Parry picks it up, the nuggety hooker. They've got numbers now over there. If they can do it, a high tackle. Parry fends away from that, still going. And he'll be stopped a couple of metres short of the chalk. As the crowd count down, and Wales have been given a penalty. But they have enjoyed every single minute of this match. And here's a last-ditch effort, crossfield kick from Seamark, hoping to find his winger. He does! Oh, they've put the ball down, and going in to score after the full-time siren, Regan Grace for Wales. That turns the duck egg into 4.
Well, there's a Hail Mary kick there from Matt Seamark. And again, as we said, that young, talented half, Reece Williams, gets the ball down after a not-so-great effort there from Gary Lowe.
Well, never say die attitude, and you've got to give them full credit for that, Wales. They are absolutely out on their feet. They spent a week in Brisbane trying to acclimatise to these conditions, but you really can't. 50 points to 4. He's got it from near the sidelines, and Well, it puts a full stop on what's been a pretty ordinary sentence for them. They have fought hard, Wales, but they were up against it from the outset. David Mead going in to score a double. He turned that into a hat-trick into the end. And Wales win their first, or lose their first World Cup game. They've been beaten by the Kumuls, 50 points to 6.
A comprehensive victory. There'll be a party in Port Moresby tonight, and they're back there next week against Ireland and then the USA. They're 3 pool games in Port Moresby. The National Stadium sold out, a great atmosphere. Now we're getting set for what I think will be an absolutely cracking contest at Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland. Stand by, everyone. It's New Zealand versus Samoa coming your way right after this.
The player that throws the final pass.
A comprehensive victory to the Kumuls. Papua New Guinea registered their first win of Rugby League World Cup for 2017. 50 points to 6 over the Welsh. PNG to play Ireland next week in Port Moresby, and the Welsh will travel to Townsville, which will be interesting against Fiji. So it's a lot of challenges still awaiting these two sides, but tell you what, Alana, I was really impressed with the Kumuls. At one stage there at the end, they had 4 hookers on the field. I mean, it was a great display. It was
outstanding. They truly do epitomise pride and passion for our game, and I think that reflected on numerous accounts on the field. They just run the ball hard. They're very extremely fierce in defence. What I was impressed with was the way that they played. They had a lot of involvement from their outside backs that took a lot of pressure off their forwards, especially taking the yards out, which I think tired the Welshmen, and that's how the game did have the opportunity to open up so much.
How do you think they go in the NRL, Loz?
I think put them straight in.
Yeah?
Yep, put them straight in. 2020, PNG into the competition.
It was entertaining. Now, I'm looking